Hello, and welcome to you all. This is the 40th annual pig competition. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Babe.
A lot of Babe.
I love Babe. The pig.
Is that something you can watch in volume?
Yes.
How
If
many
you were
pigs
trained,
are there?
just one, in my opinion.
There's also Pig in the City.
Okay, fine. Pig in the City is fine. But the first is epic, always. It has, well, I think they both have the mice, but whatever. There's just this underlying, in the second one, like, there's like a lot of the pork industry and the scary reality of the future of pigs. So it's kind of hard. It's a hard watch as a child. So that one holds extra special non-memories for me. But mice, big fluffy cat, and hijinks with geese and pigs and sheep is exactly, and James Cromwell as a farmer is like what I'm here for. So
it's what we need in these arduous times.
So hello, and good morning to you all.
Yes. Yeah. Does anybody have, not like I do or anything, have a countdown for Pokemon Legends Arceus on their phone?
I don't have a countdown, but I'm pumped.
Oh my God.
I'm really excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. We might have to just like marathon that. Just like everybody. I plan to not leave my couch for like.
I already had the day booked off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For every Pokemon game, my friends and I, we all book it up, especially now during like COVID. It's like, what am I going to use my vacation days for? Like, I'm not going on vacation anywhere. So
do they expire like after December too? Or it's like you have to
actually, because of COVID, they're doing this like rollover thing, which is really good. So last year I used all of my vacation days from the year before because I had just started at that company in 2020.
Oh.
So, 2020. So they like I didn't use my vacation days like, the first year really, because I jumped on board like halfway through. So all my vacation days rolled over to this year. So I used all of mine now. So I have like double the vacation days for next year.
For Legends Arceus.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I can't remember who I told about this, but I think, Brent, you'd asked me if we'd done Diamond or Pearl.
Search. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys buy one?
No, we bought Smash Brothers instead.
Oh, yeah, you said that. Yeah.
I want to be disappointed, but you can play as Isabelle.
You can play as Isabelle in Smash. Yep.
Yeah. And I am slowly training a future esports athlete in the living room. She is 6 and she is killing me. Like, she's crazy good. And, having those new eyes and those new reflexes is probably helpful. So
you have to get her a main. You have to get her someone that she mains, that she only uses, and get really good with that character.
Kirby.
She's Kirby. Okay.
That's a classic.
Yeah, her main is Kirby and like Zero Suit Samus.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. She likes the blondes.
Don't we all?
If there's If there's a blonde in the game, it's her.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Full Volume podcast. I'm never ever 45th episode going to say that with a straight face. 46th doesn't matter.
We're far up there. We're getting up there.
Now that we've brought you your daily fill of Pokemon chatter. And weekly, we're not daily. Could you imagine if this was daily?
Oh, man.
You have to quit your jobs. This would be it.
But this is so lucrative. We're discussing Hawkeye episode number
5.
5.
Ronin.
Ronin.
Yeah.
Ronin. And holy crap.
I may have gagged twice, once at the beginning, once at the end.
Once again at the end. The good gag.
Yeah. Book ended with gags. Oh, yeah, wait. Wow.
Did you shriek, Josh? Come on.
I was pretty freaking excited. Yeah. That like reveal at the end, I was like, I kind of thought like once I saw the fist come in in that, and like with like this third episode or whatever it was, like Uncle's fist. I was like, it's like, yeah,
He's here.
yeah.
Okay, maybe let's just, since there's so much excitement, let's get it out of the way. One, we're going to spoil it. Please shut this off if you don't enjoy spoilers. This is the 46th episode of the podcast. If you don't already know now, we spoil everything. So
Just in case this is your first episode.
Yeah, just in case. Which is also weird to start on 46, but hey, some people do. Okay, let's just jump right into the start, because it starts with this really great overture where you hear the sounds of like Natasha and Yelena and the history, and then it's just like, instead of doing a flashback of scenes from films, they just do it in audio, which is like really, it really paints a lovely picture. Mm-hmm. It doesn't overburden the episode, and it goes right into the action of Yelena trying to free other Black Widows. Yep. And she is in the home. Her and another are
her and Sonya.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Sonya.
Mm-hmm. So they shoot her with whatever that, I can't honestly remember what all of their like little gadgets are called.
Anti like estrogen spray or whatever it is.
Yeah. You are fan.
That weird pheromone thing.
Yeah. But it turns out she's not brainwashed, weirdly.
She loves her upper middle class life in a mansion.
Sorry. Good morning to our producer. Okay, do you know what? Tangent but adjacent.
Okay.
We had a sort of cut scene at the end of last week's episode where our producer, who just walked through, made an appearance, and he posited all of his theories, which, based on this episode, turned out to be absolutely 100% correct.
Well, for the most part, we still don't know. We still don't know what's going on with Valentina.
Yes, but I mean, it can be assumed.
It could be assumed, yes.
Yeah, I assume that she's, again, spoiler, she's working with Fisk, right? Because Fisk is Fisk is working with her mother, who hired Valentina to get an assassin to go after Clint, right? So they're like connected somehow.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Our producer thinks that Valentina and Kate's mom are sisters, because Kate keeps saying she's sitting in her aunt's place and her aunt's not there.
Mm-hmm. And
so, who knows? This is good theory posting, though. This brings us back to the days of WandaVision. This is like, which way are they gonna go?
Mm-hmm. Which is nice. He's trying to cut in again.
Yes.
Hold your tongue, sir. Okay, so we're inside Sonya's apartment.
Not Sonya's, Annie's.
Oh, Annie. Okay.
Yelena is working with Sonya.
Got it.
Generic Black Widow number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They spray her with juice. She's not under any kind of weird estrogen spell. Crazy. She goes to the bathroom to unshook herself and begins to snap away.
Mm-hmm.
And comes right back.
Gag number one.
Yeah. Is this okay? So I was trying to think. I love how they just like randomly bring the blip back, every now and then. They just kind of casually insert it into episodes to help paint a story or move forward someone's character progression, I suppose, move forward their arc. Is this the first time we've seen someone experience the blip by themselves and then come back? We almost kind of saw it through Yelena's perspective.
Right. I think this is the first time seeing it through their perspective. I think we see Monica Rambeau come back in WandaVision in her flashback in the hospital.
Yeah.
When her mom is sick, but I don't think it's like a snap from her perspective. I think we just see her come back and her mom's not there. I don't think it's like an immediate thing, if I'm remembering. So I think this is the first time we like see what happens when they come back, and then even the effect of like the room has been painted since the 5 years, so like everything's redecorated, so like that also kind of like turns to ash and then comes back. And yeah, it was a really new, interesting kind of like fresh way.
Uh-huh.
When it started happening, I was kind of like I was kind of like, I hope that it's not like just another tie-in to Endgame. I hope it's not just like another big reference, but I think it was done really well.
I think so too.
Mhm.
It really like with Spider-Man, um, it, it's really like an instantaneous thing. Like no one remembers. Um,
Mhm.
and this really impresses on you the whole idea of like nothing happened. They felt weird for a second and then they came right back. And that is all they felt. But, was it 10 years pass or
5.
five?
Five, yeah.
Yeah. And it was enough for people to be like, holy crap. I would have been way more shocked as the friend whose bathroom it was about that return, though. Because I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, it was happening everywhere, but like,
She kind of undersold that scene, yeah.
Yeah, she could have. Poor
Okay.
acting. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Okay. All right. Take it away. Anyone with a synopsis in front of their face.
Well.
I have like a basic like rundown of what happened.
Okay.
Uh, so we start off with Kate talking to her mom after what happened last time, which was like the fight with the four people up on the top of the building. It was Maya, her, Yolana, and Kate, and Kate, and Clint. Sorry. So she's kind of talking to her, and she kind of spills about what's his name, the boyfriend, the mom's boyfriend.
I mean, I've just been calling him Sword.
Swordsman?
Swordsman.
Yeah, Swordsman. But I think his name is Jack Duquesne.
Jack, right. So she kind of like spills about Jack kind of being like something weird is going on. She's pulling up documents and he's tied to all of this. So she convinces her to go back to her apartment and get some stuff and come back. When she's at the apartment, she runs into Yolana. They have this like the most amazing scene together, and they kind of have like a girls' night. She makes mac and cheese for her, and they kind of talk about Clint and his past and how it wasn't Clint that saved the world; it was Natasha, and it's a really good like character moment between the two of them. As this is happening, Clint is going back to Grill's house. And he's staying with him and Pizza Dog. We cut back. We kind of like cut back and forth between those two scenes a little bit, but then we cut back to Kate at home, and Jack gets arrested. So obviously her mom did the right thing and talked to the authorities and kind of looked into this thing in the company. So he was arrested, and then Clint has this like little moment where he has a speech to Natasha at the spot where they first assembled for the first time in New York at the first Avengers. There's like a monument there to kind of like commemorate that. So he has like a little bit of a speech, and we realize that he's kind of like confronting his past as Ronin, but also confronting kind of like Maya and that whole situation, having to confront her after the death of her father. Then we kind of have another scene of reflection with Kate in her bedroom, and it kind of like recalls to a moment earlier where her mom's talking about how she's come a long way since her first bow. So she's looking at her first bow hanging up on the ceiling, little tiny one, and she kind of reflects that it's like, this is her calling and that she's come a long way, so she's going to keep going. So she tries to get in contact with Clint. He doesn't answer, and then we have that like final showdown at the car shop, at the garage, and Clint first takes out all of the tracksuit
tracksuit
mafia, And then they have he has a one-on-one confrontation with Maya. He says that he was hired by her boss to do that hit. So Maya we see her have a moment of doubt and is unsure of if what Clint is saying is true or not. And then she overtakes him and is about to kill him. And then that's when Kate comes to the rescue and shoots an arrow at her hand, and Clint is able to get away. The two of them go back to the apartment and they're having breakfast, and Yolana sends Kate a text, and she reveals that it's Kate's mom that is the one that hired her to kill Clint, and her mom is working with the Kingpin, which is the Kingpin we know from the Daredevil series. That's the end of the episode.
And we know because she sends a big old picture receipt.
Yeah. She has receipts. This is a big week for Daredevil.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, they spend so much time developing the Kingpin's character in the Daredevil series that, why the hell not?
He was so good in Daredevil.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I think everybody was really great in Daredevil. I'm happy that Kevin Feige confirmed too, essentially confirmed that Charlie Cox is going to be coming back as Daredevil because one, Kingpin is back, and two, he came out and said if Daredevil is going to be returning in anything, it's going to be played. He's going to be played by Charlie Cox again. So that's pretty cool. I think that those shows did a really great job of being part of the MCU, but its own thing. It really felt like a brand new thing, and then there were tiny little strings connecting it. So it was the perfect standalone show that could go by itself and be really dark. It was great.
If they leash any of them in to this big old world, it's going to be that Daredevil show.
For sure.
I can definitely leave Luke Cage, Jessica Jones.
Iron Fist.
What? I didn't. It was I've been operating under the assumption that just didn't exist.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah. Okay. So let's reel it all the way back and have a chat. I don't know where this is going, but I feel like we have feelings about certain things.
I feel we're going to get a lot of answers in episode 6. How does Kazi factor into this? Because all of a sudden Maya is suspicious of him because he wasn't there the night that her father was murdered, and Kazi was her father's number 2, right? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kazi, what's going on there? But we're going to have to probably get some dialogue from Kingpin. We're going to get some exposition about Eleanor and Kingpin, how that came to be, which probably means Valentina. I don't know. There's a lot going on here that I think we're going to get answers to. And what's really the end game with Hawkeye? What's the end game with his character arc? Oh, end game. I know. I shouldn't have said that. But
yeah, I kind of hope we don't get any of Valentina until a stinger. I feel like it might be too much. I'd like to focus, especially bringing Kingpin in. I'd like to focus on him because there's only a few episodes left, right? There's probably 8 episodes. Wow. Oh, there's only 1 episode left?
Yeah. That's why
wow.
I was like, man, they're going to have to really tie it all together. Or not. Maybe they'll lead to a movie or something. I don't know.
Right. I guess there's not a whole lot of answers left, though, right? It's just her connection to Kingpin. Because there's no other really bad guy. Obviously, Maya's going to turn and be fine with it at the end. And I think they've also talked about an Echo TV show, right?
Oh, have they?
I thought so.
I've seen the name in the Reddit threads.
Yeah.
I think it might be a thing, yeah.
Do you know what? Now that you say that, I think I remember seeing the
logo,
how they
right?
The logo and going,
yeah,
what's Echo? Yeah. So while Josh pulls that up, speaking of Maya and her brother and Kingpin, how they're all tying it together, What's a little Christmas show without a little death? I feel like he's gonna die.
Hawkeye?
Yuri, what's his face?
Kazi?
Kazi.
Kazi.
Excuse me. I feel like he might perish or run away, be disappeared, because he's absolutely like, under suspicion.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be it's confirmed. Yeah.
Oh geez.
Looks like it.
Dear Heavenly Father,
Are we moving into this realm of like
please let me live for another 10 years?
I don't mind if they're gonna be 6 episodes.
No, that's
if they're
fine.
going to be doing like a bunch of these shows. I think that the Disney Plus shows, while not all of them have been fantastic TV shows, I think that they've all done a better job than the movies of exploring the characters. This is the most I've liked Hawkeye. What If is the most I've liked Black Widow. They're really like, I think that they are really able to explore their characters in these shows because they have a much longer time to do so. I think because the budgets are probably around the same as the movie, but spread out for much longer, they have to kind of have these like scenes where they just sit down and focus on the characters and the characters talking. So, which is great. I love that. So, I'm all for these Disney Plus shows. I would much rather have 3 or 4 of these shows a year than 3 or 4 movies a year. I think that shifting to this, once maybe this like Marvel fatigue is starting to like kick in, we can just do a couple of TV shows. And if you want to skip a few or like skip episodes, you can. And then one big event movie a year or something like that, instead of these like 3 or 4 Marvel movies a year.
Yeah, it is currently like, I love the trend that's happening in film right now. It's like 1920s, and there's 3 movies in the theater, and they are all there for like 5 to 6 months.
Right.
But there's also television to keep us sated, which is like super awesome. And like Josh was saying, and I'll jump on that little bandwagon. Like, I've never known as much about Scarlet Witch and Vision as I have just watching that television show. And it's the only Marvel property so far, other than Blade, which kind of got me to read the comics. Like, I was enticed enough to reread old Scarlet Witch and Vision stories, because like I wanted to know more. It's not that I didn't know anything, it's that I wanted to actually know more. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even though it was like kind of a miss, it made Sam and Bucky like even more likable and less neglected like the films left them. So
and it's like, it's hard not to neglect them. I mean, come on. I just think of like that last scene in Endgame where they're fighting Thanos, and like there was, I think, like a 3-minute montage of just heroes appearing, and it was like there's just so many people to service. So like, I mean, I get why they've shifted to a more, episodic structure. I think it's helped a lot in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. Like Falcon, I don't think really has had much of a spotlight since Winter Soldier when he was first introduced. So yeah, it was definitely nice to get those moments. Again, it wasn't the best series. Like, it was Miley's favorite show out of all of them for sure. But I still really enjoyed those character moments and seeing him and like Isaiah, right? That's what his name was. The first Winter Soldier. Like, those scenes were great with him and Sam. So it was definitely worth it, I think. Even if it was slow. I really did like those character moments.
Is Wilbur okay?
Someone's at the door. I'm just gonna mute while I'm not talking.
Oh, okay. Okay, just checking. I was like, that's like crazy. Are you under attack?
I feel like Parker heard that.
Oh no. With his oh my god. He did. Look at him in his little shirt.
You hear that?
In his cute little chair there.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We need to have our dogs teleconference one day. We'll have
Yeah.
I love how you
That'll
roll
be
away to reveal.
yeah. That would be a good start to an episode, I think. Just having the dogs on screen Skyping.
Yeah. And then it's just like my cat's asshole.
There's always one.
There's always one. Okay, so I mean, great episode. I feel like I'm gonna be blown away by the finale. I can't wait for the finale now. I'm so glad it's Saturday because it means it's only 4 days until Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we really talk before we? I don't know if we're winding things down, but can we talk? Oh, okay. Can we talk about the apartment scene between Kate and Yolana? Because that was my favorite part of the episode, even with the Kingpin reveal and like the snap at that was the best part of the episode. That's the most character we've gotten out of Yolana too. Like, she was my favorite part of the Black Widow movie, I think, but she's now becoming my favorite part of like this TV show, which is, in my opinion, the best Disney Plus Marvel show we've gotten so far. So the fact that I think it's overtaking WandaVision. I really love WandaVision. I think it's super like fresh and new and like a really great concept, but I know there's something about this one. I think maybe because I read the Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye, and I just am loving how well it's being like retold here. But that scene was great. Her making mac and cheese. She was so freaking funny in this episode, like hilarious. Like down to like the fork conversation, how Kate only has one fork and she's got to take out a plastic one, and like her saying no thanks so much for the girls night after essentially like threatening her new best friend. Like it's so fantastic. I love this scene. Yeah,
like I don't have any weapons on me.
Yeah.
Oh, I currently don't have any weapens in my hands.
Right, that's also a lie. Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah, I think she's, I mean, obviously, I think what they're doing is they were trying to give us some sort of Black Widow proxy going forward. And I think Yelena's going to be quite entertaining. I would say arguably more so than Scarlett Johansson was.
Yeah, for sure. I think Scarlett did she did a good job. I just think that they never gave her a moment to like shine. Like they never really gave her anything to do.
And she's in business anyway.
Yeah, and then even in her own movie, I was kind of like over it because I'm like, she's gone. Like, what? I don't know. It just didn't feel impactful, and it really felt more of like a vehicle to bring in a new Black Widow rather than to give Scarlett Johansson and her Black Widow the send-off she deserved.
Yeah, and I feel like in the overarching like Avengers titles, I feel like they really shoehorned in because here's the thing. Lots of thoughts at once. This show is largely about Clint's sadness over Natasha's death, but it was a death or feelings, great emotions based on like a relationship they kind of shoehorned into the larger storyline. I feel they introduced us to his family, which was nice, but then suddenly there was like this great relationship or friendship that her and Clint had that I was like, wait, what? What's happening? She knows about his secret family?
They kind of set that up like right from the beginning in the first Avengers film too, but it was never like a plot point. It was just kind of like character stuff sprinkled in. I never really gave them moments to like actually sit down and have a conversation about it. It was kind of just like flavor in between, and it was like subtext.
Yeah.
Like I think after Clint is done with his brainwashing from Loki from the first Avengers, they're sitting in the helicarrier or something like that, and Widow is talking to him about how they have each other's backs, and it's nothing like Budapest.
Yeah,
like they've gone through. So they kind of have this like hints of having like a bigger relationship, and then it was Ultron, I think, that they explored a little bit more with Clint's family, and then from there it just kind of like grew, and it was just more implied than anything, I think.
They
They just told us.
It almost kind of reminds me of like in Family Guy, where there's always like implied history, or like a character will be like that time we dot 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 dot.
Right. Yeah.
Like, but it's all those little like offhanded comments they have that kind of build into this like deeper relationship you realize between them. So it's all told through what do you call those? Like inside jokes, but not jokes, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I feel like it would have been helpful though had they flashed back with a pop cultured reference, like because I when she spoiler alert, when they go and get the soul stone and she sacrifices herself to win it, like I wasn't as sad for their relationship. I was sad that she died and they couldn't, like, there was only one outcome there. It was one of them. Yeah, so
also props to this episode for reminding me what color the soul stone was.
You're right.
Like,
stupid orange rock.
Orange rock. It's like, oh yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah.
That's the one I always forget.
I have trouble keeping the colors with the I only know like blue and red.
Like there's the lanterns, stones, what a rainbow, like I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of things in geek pop culture that I have to remember that I will get like judged if I don't remember. So
it's a harsh reality. It's a harsh life that we live, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. Also, like big up to her bringing back sriracha.
You know what? Sriracha and mac and cheese is a regular here too. Yes.
Yeah. It is.
I was tempted to.
Oh. What?
Is nobody giving you attention? Come here then. Come on.
Oh.
Won't even move. Oh, there we go. Come on.
So loud.
Oh my God. Okay, sit nice. He's
Brent,
so sassy. Sorry.
directly into the microphone.
Parks, you want to say something?
I've got opinions about mac and cheese.
Yeah, he heard mac. He sounds like a little.
Yeah, he does. Any mac and cheese opinions?
He licks his lips.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, what a sweet little baby.
He's upset I'm up talking this time. Up at this time.
It's like he too was unaware that the soul stone was orange.
He was orange?
Who needs to watch Babe when you have Parker sounds on the background?
This little piggy in the city.
Yeah.
I love. Mm-hmm. He knows.
Okay, you give me a good boy. Okay.
Christmas gifts will be late this year because I can't make it to the mailbox in time.
Oh, that's okay.
So it'll be like Christmas, New Year's gifts.
Ooh. Exciting.
Mm-hmm. I almost launched into like oh yes, Brent, by the way, your package will be late. Oh, your package won't include stickers because I am a bonehead and I mailed it without the stickers.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the most exciting part. But then I remembered. We're still recording.
We are still recording. Sorry. All right,
no,
go.
That's fine. Oh no, he can stay. He can stay forever. I love how everything he does. It's like it's like Foley.
Yeah. He's got to make his presence known at all times, even when he's asleep. You know he's there.
I thought that maybe he had fallen asleep behind you when that big noise happened, but it's like no.
No, he was like, "What? Why are you not looking at me?" Ugh.
Should get him a set of headphones so he can be in on the conversation. Mm-hmm. Like a monitor. Yeah, and Jason can be our co-producer. Producer, and Parker could be the co-producer or line producer of the Full Volume podcast.
He could just do like the Foley work, I think.
Mm-hmm. This is what wet lettuce sounds like.
Yeah.
Do you have any sound effects to send us? If so, send them to fullvolumepod@gmail.com. We will take videos also of your pets. If you have anything to disagree with, wait a second. Hold on. Welcome to the Full Volume Podcast. I'm your host, Jolie.
I'm Harvey Brent.
We are today joined by Joshua Murr-VELL of the Here Comes the Spider Cast, a family podcast. A podcast of the Comic Book Syndicate family. Say hello to everybody, Josh.
Hi, everybody. Are you going to cut this and put this at the front?
Hell no.
Oh,
It stays at the back.
It was nice talking to you guys then.
And now we end it. The best way to end it is with like disgusting animal noises.
Yeah.
Made by the cutest animals in the world.
Dog pig.
Dog pig.
Oh, okay. If you sorry, I immediately forgot how I usually end it, which is like never consistent anyway. So send us email. Oh, follow us on Twitter at Comic Syndicate, #FullVolumePod, or don't just forget about Instagram because we have. It seems like the only people who can find us are like on Twitter and are evil, and Facebook and are ignorant. So Facebook at the Comic Book Syndicate, do you know what? We're always going to be on the website, www.comicbooksyndicate.com. It's been a year.
Yeah.
And a year.
Yeah. So I think one more episode left of the year, right?
Yeah. The biggest Christmas gift of all since baby Jesus' birth, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if we're not going to get a Star Wars for Christmas, let's get Kingpin for Christmas. Why not?
Silver medal.
Yes. Thank you, Joshua Murr-VELL, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. He is this show's #1 fan, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, feel free to join us again. Oh, do you know what? Next week is going to be sticky. Because it's Christmas week.
Christmas, right? Yeah.
But we'll discuss it after.
Yeah.
we
What
sign
day
off.
is Sunday? Okay.
So yeah, thank you for coming on. We'll have a lot of like tiered lists to do between now and the next show, right?
I think we're gonna. I don't know when the next show is.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, they've changed everything around. I think Miss Marvel's coming soon. It was supposed to come before Hawkeye, but because of everything's been switched around. So, there's a bunch of stuff. I think Baby Groot show is coming out next year. Miss Marvel, Echo. There's another one. There's like 4 or 5 shows slated to come out. She-Hulk, yeah.
Moon Knight.
So,
I feel like Moon Knight's next because that's the one I'm hearing the most about.
Possibly.
We'll
That one had the full trailer, so you're probably right.
I think it's Moon Knight, and I think it's like March.
Okay. Oh, and it's Oscar Isaac, so
That'd be good.
I really don't want them to mess that up. He's a great actor.
Wonderful.
Okay. I have been your host, G.I. Jolie.
And I've been Harvey Brent.
And that's Josh and Parker.
Hi.
And until next time, keep it loud.
Keep it at full volume.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.